All good. Okay, so here we are. This is the School of Engineering Hub team, SOE Hub team. My name is Karen Lewis, and I am an advisor within the Hub. And I'm joined here by a couple of my colleagues today for support. We are a team of advisors who take care of you during your first year. All majors within the School of Engineering come to the Hub during their first year. So getting started, we have a couple of things we're going to cover in this presentation. First, we're going to discuss the major templates, how to register for your fall courses, the transfer course process, and also a couple of important dates that we want you to be aware of. So the first thing I want to answer, I kind of touched on it right in the beginning, but what is the School of Engineering Advising Hub? So this is an office that is exclusively for first year students. We are staffed with a team of 5 of us who are split up by majors. We're all experienced advisors who support you with all things academic throughout your first year. After your first year, you will transition over to a faculty advisor in your major. So that means that you would have, depending if you're a civil, you will have a civil major specific faculty advisor, or environmental will have a faculty advisor as well. So that happens at the end of freshman year, but this year you will come to the Hub for all things that you need supported regarding course scheduling, form signatures. If you need tutoring assistance, we can point you in the right direction. So pretty much everything academic starts with the Hub during your first year. Where is the Hub? That's important to know if you want to come visit. So we are located in the Johnson Engineering Center, which is also known as the JEC. RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, is full of acronyms, so you're going to get to know a lot of them right in the beginning. But if you have any questions, just reach out and ask us. We're happy to help. And honestly, we're still navigating some of them ourselves. We are located on the 3rd floor of the Johnson Engineering Center. So that means once you walk into the building, you're going to come up to the 3rd floor and go to the end of the hallway where the Ansel Lounge is. And we're embedded inside the lounge. Now, the lounge is a great place to do some studying. It's open Monday through Friday during Hub hours. So if you have a Hub appointment and you have some free time, you're more than welcome to come and study in the lounge. It's a great quiet space to do so. So just an overview of what our majors are and who we support. Granted, you guys are civil or environmental engineers, but a lot of students have questions and are considering other majors. And that is something, we're not offended if you're considering a different major. We encourage you to maintain an open mind. All of these majors are covered within the School of Engineering Hub, and you can talk to us about any of them. So you might be bouncing between advisors in that instance, but I just wanted to give you an update that the first year, 1 in 3 students do change their majors. So if you're unsure about your major, you're always welcome to have a bigger discussion about your career goals. So now this is really where we get into the nitty-gritty for registration. These are called class templates. I have one here that's for civil and one for environmental, and I'll zoom in a bit. I want to show you specifically the courses that you're going to be focusing on during registration on July 10th. Civil engineers prioritize these courses, and if you look over to the right, environmental engineers actually are taking very similar coursework. So whether you're a civil or an environmental, you're pretty much going to register for the same courses. The only difference is civil engineers take regular chemistry 1, which is chemistry 1100, and environmentals take chemistry 1 with advanced lab. So that's chem 110 or 1110. Now, if you do receive AP credit for chemistry from high school, it satisfies both requirements. So don't worry about the advanced lab piece. If you did get AP Chem credit, we're going to consider it a completed course. So we could talk more about that later on, but that is something that students often ask and are confused about. So just to clarify, AP credit satisfies both Chem and Chem with Advanced Lab. So when you complete your schedule or create your schedule rather, you're going to be using a program called Quacks. Yes, Quacks like the duck. It's kind of funny. Our comp sci students on campus in a team called ARCOS, another acronym, created Quacks in order for you to be able to create schedules that don't conflict. I'm going to show you a little bit more about Quacks in the end, but what you really want to be aware of is you're going to input all the courses from the template that was in the previous slide into Quacks, and you're going to choose the schedule that works best for your personal goals. And when you have that, at the bottom of the Quack screen is something called CRNs, and there's a series of numbers listed. CRNs stands for course registration numbers. Those are the numbers that you're going to input in SIS, which I'll show you in just a minute, and that will register you for the classes. Quacks is not your actual course registration. It's just a tool to build your schedule. So please don't confuse the two. We use Quacks to create the schedule, and then we use SIS to register for the actual courses. And here we are at SIS. So SIS is Student Information System. You log into SIS pretty much for everything. The first step that you are going to do in this process, if you haven't already, is on Monday of the 24th of this past Monday, we uploaded time tickets for registration into SIS for every student who's an incoming freshman. The time ticket tells every student that they're going to register on July 10th. But what's unique about your specific time ticket is the time that you will actually register. So in order to check that, if you haven't, you're going to log into SIS, you go to your student menu, and then right at the top of the menu is something called check registration status. Once you click that button, it will give you the option to choose the semester, which would be fall of 2024. And it's going to say registration time window, July 10th, certain time through July 16th. So that time on July 10th is what you're paying attention to. The next step is that you have to clear your financial responsibility agreement. If you don't clear that, you will end up with a hold on your account. So in the same menu of the Student Information System, SIS student menu, there is another bullet right below the check registration status, actually two below, that says Financial Responsibility Agreement. And it'll bring you to the screen that says that you agree. You have to click that you agree. This is something you have to do every semester. In fact, you could do it right now. We encourage you to do it before your actual registration time because it'll eliminate any delays in your registration process. And then you can actually go to Class Search to find some of those courses that you also can find on Quacks, which I'm going to show you now. So when you go to Class Search in SIS, it brings you up to another menu. This drop-down menu allows you to pick what category of courses you're looking for. So for example, civil and environmental both take chemistry, so you could highlight the chemistry piece in the drop-down menu. All the course number, part of term information you don't need, you could bypass all of that, and it'll bring you specifically to the section that you're looking for. Now, this is what a typical section or screen looks like in the student class search. It has your course CRN, which is listed right at the top menu, the course name and number, and it also shows you the meeting times, and also if there's an instructor listed, that would appear here. Now, the big things that you want to pay attention to when you're building your schedule or registering for classes is the first column says SR here. That means seats remaining, which means that there's still seats in the section that you're looking at. If it's labeled as a C, that means it's a closed section, no seats remain, so you would have to find an alternative section. You can look at the course number seats here. So under the menu, the capacity or cap, the actual enrollment, and how many course seats remain. So the 38, that means there's 38 seats remaining in this section of science, technology, and society. So those are the things that you're going to want to pay attention to when you're registering for classes. Now, one thing to note about Quacks also details whether or not a course is full. However, there is a significant lag time with Quacks. SIS class search is real time. As soon as you refresh the screen, if 6 people registered for this class within the minutes that we're talking, it would drop down very quickly and you'd be able to see that. Quacks doesn't always show you that in real time. So when you're actually registering for your classes, it's a good idea to actually access the class search option in SIS to make sure that there's seats available. So another thing to look at is also to see if there's any restrictions. Um, there's different there's different rules for every single category. So that's something that we can go over in detail when you're running into issues with registration. But generally, we try to have you navigate and register for your classes as soon as possible to avoid any kind of conflict. If you receive an error message when you register for a class, the best thing to do is just move forward and try another section. Now, when your registration window actually opens, so this is why you're going to check your registration status because this doesn't appear until your window opens. There's going to be a series of boxes. So when you're in the student menu in SIS on your registration day, you're going to click the bullet that says register add drop. Once you do that and select fall of 2024, if your registration window's open, these boxes will appear. This is where you're going to input those CRNs or course registration numbers that you pulled from Quacks. So those numbers are going to go right in, and once you enter each CRN in a box, you're going to click Submit Changes. We always keep our fingers crossed, hope you get all the courses that you try on the first try, but sometimes there are messages where there's an error. So you're going to get a detailed message like this, which will tell you that you didn't actually register for that particular class, and you're going to have to find an alternative section, or you might even have to find an alternative course. So when you're creating schedules in Quacks, it's always good to have multiple plans because depending on your time ticket, there might be issues with registration with courses filling up. So there's always a plan B, a plan C, maybe even a plan D just in case. But one thing to know, we hub advisors will be on call throughout that day to help assist with the registration process. So whenever you have a concern or you're hitting some kind of a roadblock, you just let us know via WebEx, which is another reason we want you really to set up your WebEx account ASAP, and we can offer you assistance with the process. So now we're going to move on to another topic that a lot of students have been asking since we started reaching out, and it's the transfer course process. Now, a lot of you are coming in with AP, IB, or dual enrollment, Cambridge credits. If any of those things apply to you, you really want to act on getting those credits to RPI as soon as possible. AP credits, we now accept 4s and 5s. Previous years, it was just 5s, so consider yourself in a good category here. We want you to request your scores from College Board if you haven't already and have them sent to RPI exclusively. Same thing with IB. You're going to have to also request transcripts for Cambridge exams, IB exams, and also dual enrollment exams, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. Not exams, dual enrollment credits, I'm sorry. So dual enrollment is when you have an agreement in high school that you're taking college courses through probably a local college. We need you to contact the college and have them send your transcript to RPI. In addition, there's an incoming transfer credit procedure form that you need to have your high school administrator sign. So both of those things will need to be done in order for the credits to come through. So transcript and the dual enrollment form signed. We also need to make sure that you pass the class with a C- or better for the credit to be eligible to transfer. And the course actually has to be evaluated to make sure it meets the rigor of RPI to be approved to transfer as well. So those are things that students need to do. We just did a transfer webinar yesterday. So if you do have questions about the policies and process, you can access that recording on our Hub website, which I will show you in just a few minutes. Our Hub website is pretty much the go-to place for all resources. We try to make it easy for you to find it all in one place. So we really love to hear that it's helpful and that you use it often. Now, some of you might be taking summer classes right now. Now, if that's the case, the process is very similar to dual enrollment, but you are going to fill out a different form, which you could reach out to your Hub advisor to get. And you're going to need your Hub advisor's signature, but you will still need to request the transcript from whatever college you're taking those classes at. So it's a kind of a similar process. You still need a C minus, but we can walk you through that if that situation applies to you. So just reach out to us. So we also get the follow-up question, well, when do they need to be in by? Really, we want them now. It makes the registration process that much easier. It makes you being able to register for a class that much easier as well, just because you don't have to be overridden into courses. But we understand that some of the credits are not going to be here before your registration window. So that's okay. We have a system in place that we're going to be sending you information next week regarding a survey that you're going to fill out in order to give us that information that we might need to make overrides easier. But in order for all of the credits to be processed, we really want you to act as soon as possible. You do have a year to get them all in. So if they're in by May 1st of next year, you will still be able to use those credits. But if they're STEM credits, we need them sooner so you could bypass the prerequisite courses. So now we have a couple of important dates that I want to go over quickly. As I mentioned earlier, your time ticket was assigned to you on June 24th. So you can find that information on SIS in the student menu, check registration status. You're in your consultation period right now. And a consultation period is when you can attend a various webinars like you are right now. And you also have drop-in options to meet one-on-one with an advisor. And all of those scheduled dates are listed on our website. The first day of class is August 28th, but I'm getting ahead of myself because really we want to focus on our registration window, which is July 10th through the 16th. During that time, you have access to move and register for classes, but we really want you to register right when your window opens. Don't wait until the 15th to register for your classes. If you do so, there's a good chance that a majority of the sections will be filled, and it's really going to limit your options and selections. So please register right when your time window opens on July 10th. So as I mentioned, we have the first day of class on Wednesday, August 28th. And we also have a 2-week window after the first day of classes where you can actually try on your classes. So what that means is if you're attending a class and you don't like it, or you don't prefer the instructor, whatever the circumstances might be, you have the option to move into a different course during that 2-week window without any kind of penalty, fee, or anything. There's no record of any changes that are happening during that 2-week time. A lot of times students who have AP credits might find themselves in Calc 2 because they had credit for Calc 1. If you find Calc 2 to be too rigorous during that 2-week window, we could easily put you into a Calc 1 course and have you dropped out of Calc 2, for example. So that 2-week window is a little bit of fluctuation, and you can reach out to your Hub advisor for any guidance during that window, or you could simply make those modifications on your own if you feel comfortable. So a couple of resource highlights that I want to go over. I'm going to show you our website in just a minute, but the website again is a resource for you throughout the academic year. We update it regularly, and we have a lot of information as far as resources on campus, tutoring services, how to do different procedures and policies. Everything that you can generally think of academic related will be listed on our website. And if you do have questions after you review our website, you can always reach out to your Hub advisor because you have unlimited contact with them throughout the freshman year. We also have a YouTube channel. All of our videos and webinars that are created are posted on our YouTube channel, but for the purpose of our webinars for this session, the consultation period, all of those links are also available on our website. We're also very active on social media, so be sure to follow us on Instagram. We have Manny Mondays, which is something that's beloved by our students, and I'm not going to give you too much information because I want you to sign up to check it out. But we do give you critical updates via Instagram and Facebook. So if there's anything that you're looking for, you could likely find it there as well. And also the links to our website are always good to bookmark. So thank you for that. I'm going to stop sharing that part of the screen and I want to show you how to get to our website. Now, we sent you an initial email and a lot of times students don't always recognize the links. soehub.rpi works great in a Google search engine. It brings you right up to our website, which you can click. So as you can see, this is the First Year Advising Hub homepage. We're still supporting our rising sophomores currently, so there is a class of 2027 button here, but you're going to prioritize clicking on the class of 2028. Now we have all Hub emails archived in this button right here. So if there's something you think you might have missed or your parents are interested in understanding what communications are being sent to you, this is a great resource for them. And basically everything that I talked about is here. So our virtual drop-in sessions are currently on Wednesdays, but we're probably going to be expanding those hours. So definitely check back here for the resources and updates for that. And during these registration time windows, if you want to meet with an advisor, we put the sign-up sheet. Now, if you sign up right now, the form is closed. The form is only going to be open during the designated times. So this might expand. The form will be open every single time you input your data. And another reason why we really want you to be connected on WebEx is because an advisor will contact you via WebEx in order to meet during those drop-in sessions. They will give you a link to their personal meeting room and have you join them. So in order for you to receive that information, WebEx is an integral tool. So now we have our frequently asked questions. We talked about templates and schedule creating, so that's something that I want to really show you here. We have a question that says, how do I create my schedule for next semester? So this is where you can find those templates that I referenced earlier in the presentation. You click on it, you download them. We also have an Excel curriculum template. It's the same template that's in the PDF version, but Excel allows you to do more course planning, which we are going to use throughout freshman year. So both of these are really important. But if you're just looking for, hey, what do I register for fall? Click on the major template and find civil or an environmental template there. Now the Quack Student Planner, again, is right in the link here. And we also have an actual register video, which I find to be very helpful because the students actually registering for their classes. So you get to see in time how they go through the step-by-step process. And we have all of this information at your disposal at all times. So we also have the information about the AP and dual enrollment stuff. So anything that was covered in this webinar, you can always review the webinar recording, or you can simply just go to this Q&A page for this information. And then, as I mentioned before, all of our webinar schedules are listed here. We're currently in the civil and environmental engineering webinar. Once this is completed, this will be updated and the recording link will be available at your access. And if you want to watch any previous webinars, they're all here as well. So that's pretty much the rundown of all of that. The last thing I wanted to show you was an actual Quacks menu. This is just something that I think is helpful to see quickly. This would be your home page, and if you hit Quacks in the upper left-hand side, you will actually see our main menu. And this is how you're going to choose and build your schedule. So for students who are in chemistry, we would click on that, and you're going to see your chemistry, and there's a lot of sections. And you also see the chemistry with advanced lab. So for the sake of this, I am going to select all of the chemistry ones, and then you go up into the right-hand side and you click schedule. Now that's going to show you every section meeting time of chemistry and all sections that are available. So you're going to do this for every single course on that course template and add to them. And you're going to be able to have multiple options. And what you're going to do is toggle through all of them and then pick the schedule that you like best after you input all of your courses. And then the CRNs are going to be listed at the bottom. So that's kind of the overview of what we're going to primarily be focusing on. And one piece more that all students are required to do during their freshman year is complete a Haas inquiry requirement. And if you look on the templates for civil and environmental, both of them have an inquiry requirement in the fall semester. So if you click on this Haas inquiry button, it's going to bring you to all of the humanities, arts, and social sciences inquiry courses. These are for freshmen only. That is why they're listed as full courses. They are not full. We will be inputting course seats next week. It's just that registration's open for upperclassmen and we don't want them to steal the freshman seats. But if you look, you're going to see a little bit of a description on each of the courses that you have to choose from. And if you click on them, you're going to see the sections and their meeting times. So in addition to the chemistry, math, and introduction to engineering courses that you're going to be inputting into your schedule, you're also going to have to pick a Haas inquiry course. So you can find that right on Quacks in order to schedule it. So I think that's it for me right now. Are there any questions?
So there was a couple of questions that I have on the side here. And just a
Okay, great.
reminder for anybody that's still watching, you can use the chat feature to drop some more questions. But Karen, first one that came in is, do I need to follow the template exactly as it's written out, or is there any room for flexibility there?
Well, it depends on what your circumstances are. Obviously, if you're bringing credits to RPI, you're going to be progressing at a different level. But the first semester courses for civil engineering are pretty much what's recommended unless you've already satisfied them. Now, as far as environmental engineers are concerned, it's generally recommended that you do the same thing. The only thing that they can substitute would be if you were to want to take physics before you take introduction to engineering analysis. That is a swap that can happen in the first semester. Now, when you get into further course planning, there is a little bit of flexibility with both of the programs that you and I can discuss. But for the most part, the first semester in both of the templates are what you're going to register for this fall.
Thank you, Karen. Another question I have is, I already made a schedule. Is meeting with a hub advisor mandatory?
Not at this time. If you made a schedule and you feel good about it, you're more than welcome to just navigate the process independently. We do put a lot of resources online to help with that, so I hope that you could do it independently. However, if you want me to check your schedule or you want somebody just to give you any thoughts on anything, you can always email the schedule to soehub@rpi.edu. That is the email address that we primarily contact you with throughout the summer. So you could just simply respond to one of those and include your schedule for review, and we'll get back to you with feedback. So, yet no, you don't need to meet with us unless you feel you have questions or a personal situation that might require our attention.
Thank you. I got another question that came in the chat. Thank you. And Karen, I can take this one for you. I was looking at the course catalog for Calculus 2, and the courses listed are listed as LEC, TES, and REC. What does this mean? That's a really good question, so thank you for popping that in there. LEC means lecture, TES means test, and REC means recitation. So lecture, obviously, everybody's in there in one room. That's where the class will happen. Test block will meet only when there's an exam, which is usually a small handful of the times throughout the semester. I think last year it's about 4 on average. And then REC is recitation. So if you have a large class, what the professor will do is break you up into smaller groups. That way you have a full hour to that professor in a smaller, more intimate setting. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's better used as a good study session with the professor in the room. There's all sorts of different ways that professors will um, handle those. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. This might be useful for everybody, and I will share my screen to show you what I shared with you. So this is the class hour schedules. If you're not really sure exactly what block goes to what, this is a really good document for that. So for Calculus 2, it'll tell you exactly when the lecture, the recitation, and the test blocks are. Thank you for that question. Good question.
Awesome, Bulos. One other thing, we do have a couple of faculty who prefer to use their test block as an additional recitation, but a majority of them, the test blocks are exclusively test blocks. But you'll find out once you go to the first day of classes, um, they will clarify that process for you as well. So just a heads up on that. There's a small sample of faculty that do use the test block for something other than testing. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for attending. If you have questions, I'll hang out for a couple more minutes. You could throw them in the chat. I'm happy to answer any of them. Obviously, if you have additional questions after this webinar is over, just get in touch with us. soehub@rpi.edu is a great resource for you because you can get immediate answers in business hours. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible with anything that comes up. So again, if you need schedules reviewed, if you just have a quick question, the other resource that we offer is the WebEx chat. Every single engineering student is in a universal chat that is hosted by your hub advisors, and we team advise in that space, and it's a safe space for you to ask any question. So feel free. There's the likelihood that someone else is also going to have that same question, so you're doing them a favor by asking. And we love to engage with everyone, so it's a great opportunity for you to get to know us and also get to know your fellow engineering students. All right. Well, it doesn't look like anyone else has any questions. So thanks again. I hope you enjoy your afternoon. And we really look forward to welcoming you to campus in August. Have a great day, everyone.